Do you also love Christmas? You know that feeling when you really want something, and then Santa comes and puts it under the tree. With this projector, I had exactly this kind of experience. For me, this projector is the biggest surprise of the recent years because I had the chance to review its predecessor, the Wanbo Mozart, last year. And then I said about that projector that I see only one serious issue with it, the operating system. That machine had an Android 9 operating system. And with Android 9, we didn't get a Widevine certification, which meant we couldn't the streaming services, watching movies given in full HD resolution, only in SD. I think that for a projector that is full HD resolution, it's quite a call. And then I managed to talk to a representative from the manufacturer and I asked them about the same thing. Can someone explain why there's a great full HD projector here, but they put an Android on it that only lets us stream in SD? The answer was that they had to choose whether to put an Android on it that allows any app to be installed from the Android store, or a different kind of Android, something they can certify with Widevine, and they chose the former. I then asked, what do they think is more important for a projector? Is it to be able to watch movies in high quality, or the fact that we can install any application? Because in my opinion, and since it's a projector and we watch movies with it, perhaps the movie's importance would be greater. The quality to which the reply was, well, it's possible, and we'll think about it. After that, it was released this year. It also turned out that this projector already has the Android TV system and received a Widevine Level 1 certification. It received the modifications I longed for. So for me, this projector is one of the biggest surprises of the year. There aren't too many changes compared to the previous version, but I'll tell you the specifications soon. Let's start with the unboxing first, which doesn't hold much interest. As for accessories, we hardly get anything. There's an external power unit and a remote control. But even here, there's a little something interesting. Since the previous version came with an internal power supply, while this one has an external one. In addition, the remote control has changed. Instead of the usual white elephant remote, we get a black one. While there are various buttons in terms of shape, color, and design, I preferred the old one. But due to the buttons, the functions made the new one much better. This new remote comes with dedicated buttons for Netflix, Disney, YouTube, to Amazon Prime and YouTube. Besides, we get a dedicated button for the settings menu, but not just for the big settings menu, but also for that part specifically dealing with the image. This is very good because here with the remote control, a single press allows us to access the picture settings, so that in moments, we can change these settings, adjusting them to fit whatever show we're watching. And speaking of the power supply, let's dive into the specifications. So, this machine has an external power supply, and this was not beneficial for the connectors. Since we find connectors at the back of the machine, we found an HDMI, 2 USB ports, and a headphone jack in the rain. However, this machine has only one USB port, and the reason is very simple. Physically, there was no room for more, because the power connector occupies the other USB slot. Internally, the machine is almost identical to its predecessor, equipped with the same 900 lumen LED lighting, and similarly, it also has an LCD. The projection mode of a projector is full HD resolution, just like it. Received the same projection system that made Pixel Pro 5.0. This Pixel Pro 5.0 represents a sealed projection system, meaning dust doesn't get inside. The lens can't get dusty from inside. The lens system itself is the fifth. The hardware hasn't changed inside the machine, with one exception. Well, the previous version had a 32 GB storage, but this one only has 16 GB. We find it, perhaps because the old one has all sorts of junk software on it. It could be installed that way. To this, not much, since there are far fewer applications available for Android TV. And maybe the manufacturer thought we would install fewer applications because of that. 16 will be enough. The other difference relates to Wi-Fi coverage. Since the Wi-Fi, Mozart 1 had Wi-Fi 6. However, this machine only has Wi-Fi 5. I can't explain why that is. I really can't explain it. Maybe it's because of cost cutting, but I apologize in advance for that. While in use, using Wi-Fi, there's absolutely no noticeable difference between the two devices. Actually, the most interesting ability of a Mozart is the sound, or rather the sound system that's integrated into it. In this machine, it's right here at the back, we find two 8-watt speakers. On its side, there's a large passive subwoofer moved by the air driven by a 2.8-watt speaker. It's a bit of an exaggeration to say that this machine, in this form, with this sound system, received a built-in soundbar. Here, check förna. It has capabilities roughly equivalent to an inexpensive soundbar packed into this box. In practice, this means that essentially, you don't need an external sound system, neither USB nor Bluetooth, because the built-in speaker is really good in terms of volume and quality, so perfect that you can even listen to music on it if you like. I've watched many concert films, beat them, a very good experience, and I didn't have to output the sound externally. From a monthly speaker system. Thank you very much. The machine itself has very efficient cooling. It's a very well-designed cooling system. We find an insane heat dissipation, and this feature path greatly cools into the fridge with the help of two fans. The system LED, as well as the entire system. According to the manufacturer, it's below 35 decibels. That noise, which the machine is supposed to make anyway. And probably that's about all in life too. As you turn on the machine, you still hear some rustling, but the moment you start the movie or the music, it completely feels. And because you only hear those sounds, the sounds that must be heard for the movie. Okay, but what was it like to project with this projector? What was it like to use? I'll start with the software. Android TV built on Android 11 is the best choice for me. Some might call it basic, but that's what I love about it, because I can find the content I want to consume in moments. Simple, clear, can speak Hungarian. In Hungarian, we do encounter some odd translations here and there, but fundamentally, the system works perfectly fine in Hungarian. So, if you don't speak English, then you will manage with it. You'll find a lot of pre-installed streaming services like Prime, HBO, oh, Piggy, Netflix, and of course YouTube are available on it. You can even install Kodai, and through Kodai watch online TV. You can now watch the Summer European Championship games projected if you're around. The remote control, like with other Wanbo projectors, is Bluetooth, meaning it doesn't always have to be pointed at to direct towards the projector in order for it to detect the signal, essentially from anywhere within 10 meters. You know the projector. You can project from a distance of 1.5 to 4 meters. The maximum image distance, according to the manufacturer, is 120 centimeters. I'm basically 3 meters. That's a pretty large screen size. True, televisions are getting bigger. But for someone who craves a cinema effect at home, maybe a projector is still a good renewal. With the Mozart 1 Pro, I noticed significant improvements over the previous model, probably due to software enhancements. This projector has automatic solutions, allowing you not to manually adjust the focus, the trappist correction, and not have to manually adjust the image on the screen. This device comes with many such features, so autofocus is a given, something most devices already have. I indicate the in bed. Got it. My car is not because of the trappist anymore. Every machine has it. We find it here. We find an automatic keystone correction, so if we're not projecting at too sharp an angle, so Pubina, the projector, can align the image on the canvas, eliminating that concern. And what I really liked is that this device has obstacle avoidance, as its predecessor did, but it didn't quite work in the previous model. It's already working for me. Obstacle avoidance simply means that if you project onto a canvas or wall, and some obstacle intrudes on one side of the image, then the projector can cleverly adjust the image, so that the obstacle is moved outside of the picture. Try to adjust it to avoid obstacles, but if you can't, this auto feature works. It works, and finally, the built-in hardware in the projector is unfortunately not very strong, so don't expect phone-level power. A 3D Mark test program is installed on the computer. You can start it if you want, but there isn't much point because the tests run at about 1 to 2 frames per second, ending in agony. But what you can download from the story to this computer is basically every excuse. So you just need a Bluetooth gamepad for the projector. You can download the games and race cars, play platform games and all sorts of things, which broke off from the story. Of course, it can also project the phone's image, So let's say, or if you want to show photos to your friends on your phone. So this is perfect for that. But keep in mind that copying from the phone due to my video may be influenced by streaming services. You won't be able to include the given broadcast in the project. So these things are absolutely positive so far, because the software is really good. Our automatic functions work more or less, although trapezoid correction could still improve a bit better, and the hardware is quite strong, so it could run software. Games downloaded from the Android store. I have no problem with projection since 900 ANSI lumens provide enough brightness for a car. This leads to the possibility of operating in some human mode, or to see some image even under less sunshine. Of course, with this, the projector will still perform best when you'll be almost there, or you. I really like that it's relatively free from the typical LCD projector issue of distortion when set at a sharp angle. If you're too close to the screen, you can't get every part of the image into focus. This problem persists here as well, since it's not an issue with the projector itself, but with its technology. The issue with technology, however, isn't as noticeable as it is with cheaper devices, in terms of machines. So what I can say about all machines is that this projector turned out very, very well. And compared to the previous one, which also was a great success, that's the only big issue. What the software represented, eliminated. Unfortunately, this software and a Widevine Level 1 certification comes with a bit of an extra charge. That's why I think maybe dropping the storage and the Wi-Fi 6 was a bit of scrimping to push down that end-user price. What we see in stores right now, this projector is priced at around 130,000 forints. The previous version, which still has the old Android and does not include Widevine L1, I made a difference of about 100 to 110,000. So, you have the option to choose if you want to watch streaming services in full high definition. Then choose it if you want to install all sorts of applications from the store. Then the choice is yours. You'll do well with both machines. They project very well, great for watching movies and even for listening to music, so there will be no mistake with this. Below the video, I'll of course provide a link where you can buy this device, and I'll include a discount code to make it a bit cheaper. That's about it for this week. Maybe next week I'll come back with a laser engraver, but we'll see then. Until then, be good and goodbye.